Hello guys, I hope you've all had a very fun morning this morning. Are you ready to read a story? Okay, that's cool. So this is one we haven't read very much, but this is a story called Farfallina and Marcel. And this is one of my favorite stories. I love this little story. And remember how we've talked about metamorphosis? Hey, who can remember what metamorphosis is all about? It's when a little caterpillar changes into a beautiful butterfly. That's right. Who can say metamorphosis? Let's clap it. Metamorphosis. Okay, one more time. Metamorphosis. That's right. Okay, let's read our story about Farfallina and Marcel. Let's find our page. Oh, there we go. Okay, let's get it so everybody can see the pages nicely. Okay. The rain fell all morning. It splattered on the pond and it splashed on Farfallina's leaf. She found a dry spot and ate it. Oh goodness, there's Farfallina, our little caterpillar friend. Isn't she pretty? "Hey," said a little voice, "you're eating my umbrella." Farfallina peered over the edge. A small grey bird was huddled underneath. Farfallina liked his soft feathers and his gentle eyes. "I'm Farfallina," she said, and she slid down to the ground. "My name is Marcel," said the bird. He liked Farfallina's smile and her pretty colour. The rain turned to drizzle, and Farfallina wanted to play. "I'll hide and you find me," she said. Marcel agreed. Farfallina hid under a fern close to the ground because she knew that Marcel couldn't climb. "Now I'll hide," said Marcel when he found her, and he hid right behind the tree because he knew that Farfallina moved slowly. What kind of friends they are. "I can take you for a ride on the pond," said Marcel. Farfallina inched her way up onto Marcel's back. "You tickle," said Marcel, and he slipped into the water. Farfallina giggled. "There's so much to see," she said. Oh, look, there she is, on Marcel's back, in the middle of the pond. That's a funny place to see a caterpillar. You don't see caterpillars in the pond, really, hey? Farfallina and Marcel played together every day. They liked the same games and they liked each other. But one day Farfallina was not herself. "I'm not sick," she told Marcel, "just a little uncomfortable. I need to climb up onto a branch and rest for a while." "I'll wait for you," Marcel called as Farfallina made her way up to the tree. Marcel watched until Farfallina was completely out of sight. Then he settled himself in the grass and waited. Look, there goes Farfallina. She's crawling up into the tree. And there's Marcel. He says he's going to wait for her. Oh, goodness. Night came, and then morning, but Farfallina didn't come down. Marcel called to her, but she didn't answer. He was very worried and terribly lonely. Weeks went by. The afternoons grew longer and warmer, and Marcel went to the pond. He was growing, and when he looked at his reflection in the water, he hardly recognized himself. Look, Marcel had also grown into a big duck. He was changing too. He went back to the tree every day. to look for Farfallina, but she was never there, and after a while he gave up. At the top of the tree, Farfallina was snuggled in a blanket of glossy silk. She was growing too. Who can see Farfallina? Can you see Farfallina there? Hey, she's covered in her little blanket of silk. She had made herself a little cocoon, and she was inside the cocoon. Oh, let's see what happens here. The sky was blue and clear. The morning she was ready to come out and open her beautiful new wings. Oh, look, here she comes. Here comes Farfallina out of the cocoon. She had no idea how long she had been up in the tree, and she floated down to find Marcel. I'll just wait, said Farfallina, when she didn't see him, and she sat on a flower. Oh, look how she's changed. She's gone from being a pink caterpillar into a beautiful orange butterfly. And remember what that's called? It's called metamorphosis. Night came and then morning, but Marcel wasn't there. Farfallina was tired and confused. She fluttered around a bit and went to the pond. On the pond was glassy smooth, except for the ripples made by a large, handsome goose, who was swimming in solitary circles. Farfallina shivered with disappointment. Oh, because she doesn't recognize that that's Marcel, maybe, hey? Do we think that's maybe Marcel? She went to the pond every day to look for her small grey bird named Marcel, but he never came. One morning, the goose stopped his silent rounds and spoke to her. You must like it here, he said. Farfallina fluttered a bit. I've been waiting for a friend, she said sadly, but I don't think he'll come. Oh, look, see, they're talking to each other. Marcel liked her smile and her brilliant colours. I know how you feel, he said. I lost a friend too. She just vanished into thin air. Farfallina liked his sleek feathers and his gentle eyes. A ride around the pond might cheer you up, Marcel said. Farfallina thought it would, and so she settled herself on Marcel's back. Oh my goodness! There's a butterfly going for a ride. It's funny, Marcel said, but I feel as I've known you a long time. I was just thinking the same thing, said Farfallina. My name is Farfallina. What is yours? Marcel stopped suddenly. He beat the water with his strong wings. Then he swam round and round and round. It's me, Farfallina, he shouted. It's me, Marcel. Is that really you? It is, Farfallina shouted back. They looked at each other and laughed. Oh, look, there they are. They're recognizing each other. By evening they had explained everything, and they fell asleep smiling at the stars. Oh, look, there they are, friends again. They recognized each other. Farfallina and Marcel spent the rest of the summer playing just as they had before. Marcel was careful not to fly too fast, because he knew that Farfallina couldn't keep up. Farfallina didn't hide in the flowers, because she knew that Marcel would never find her. And when the leaves on the trees around the pond turned red and gold, they decided to go south. Oh, so off they went together. See, the weather is changing. It's starting to be autumn like it is here. We're also going to see some of the leaves around us starting to change color because it's getting close to being winter. So after it gets too cold for them to stay there, so that's why they've got to go to another place to go and live. And that's the end of our story. Isn't that a nice story? I love the story of Farfallina and Marcel. Okay guys, I hope you've had a fun morning and I will see you tomorrow.